AtlanticCommunity.org is an open think tank with more than 7,000 members. We connect students and young professionals from around the world via the internet and promote their policy recommendations for transatlantic cooperation. Our policy workshop competition, Your Ideas, Your NATO, focused this concept on three key issues of the NATO summit: strengthening NATO unity, improving NATO partnerships with North Africa, and encouraging member states to invest in smart defense. We reached out to universities in all NATO member and partner countries and received 1,000 registrations and more than 200 policy proposals from 47 different countries. We put the top 5 articles in each category up for debate on our open think tank. The shortlisted authors had to find flaws, suggest improvements, and respond to suggestions from other Atlantic Community members. Then they had to find a consensus and write an Atlantic memo which presents their policy recommendations to decision makers. They used wiki software that allowed real-time editing and discussion. To strengthen NATO unity, the first team proposed a point system that quantifies member contributions to the alliance and goes beyond simply adding up defense spending. This would counter burden-sharing arguments that make countries feel unappreciated or unsupported. The first Atlantic memo also called for NATO academies, where soldiers of all ranks could train in a multinational environment.
Camaraderie, trust among soldiers, knowledge transfer and the creation of a comparable level of training will foster a feeling of togetherness and improve intermilitary relations.
The second team argued that NATO should offer its North African partners assistance to reform state security forces and build the capacity of the Arab League to respond to regional security threats.
We must take advantage of this window of opportunity by pushing for the creation of strong and independent oversight over the security apparatuses. Aid to security services must only come with increased oversight, as we must make it clear that in a post-Arab Spring North Africa, our loyalties lie not with the military or with leaders, but with the people.
Our smart defense team suggested that NATO should act as a broker between member countries looking for budget-conscious solutions to defense procurement. They also proposed NATO pioneer groups, multinational units responsible for the development, acquisition and implementation of joint defense projects.
This is a strategy intended to address sovereignty costs and preempt the perception that NATO is encouraging member states to participate in projects in which some states may have no interest or see no significant benefit.
We received positive feedback for our Atlantic members from decision makers throughout the alliance, including Canadian Defence Minister McKay, Albanian Deputy Defence Minister Starova, and MPs and political advisors in Canada, Norway and the Netherlands. NATO's Deputy Assistant Secretary General Stephanie Babst has sent us a detailed video response expressing strong support for the NATO Academy's proposal.
I couldn't agree more. Exchange programs, whether they involve the military, policymakers or students, are one of the best tools to promote broader and deeper cooperation between countries. I will convey the idea to identify additional options for direct engagement to NATO's international military staff.
Dr. Babst also highlighted NATO pioneer groups as something NATO could pursue.
Your proposal to create NATO pioneer groups is very much in line with NATO's concept of building smart defense project groups run by a specific lead nation.
This successful reception continued at our event in Berlin, where the 3 winners presented the Atlantic memos to Philip Murphy, the US Ambassador to Germany, and Christian Schmidt, the Parliamentary State Secretary to the German Minister of Defense.
I believe, Stephanie, one can strengthen unity and promote transparency and engagement by implementing some of the pragmatic organizational suggestions that you and your group have developed.
Hopefully this could be a new reinventing with an entire dialogue in a sense that what you propose in having, let's say, some deepening of civil society cooperation could be the impact.
I think this project has demonstrated the power of the internet to connect complete strangers from around the world for constructive, solution-oriented debate. AtlanticCommunity.org's mission is to give a voice to a new generation of thinkers, and I'd like to encourage you to visit our online think tank and continue the transatlantic debate with us.